But what I have seen in this side of the world is people are coming up with the thing that immigration, oh my god, it's a scam, because there are no, or I would say a very few handful of good agents or registered agents which are there, who are actually doing Australia correctly. So because of that, when people start thinking, अरे ये तो scam है, अरे मेरे chance के लिए मैं डालो. As I said, every panwala is a migration agent today in India. हर एक जगह पे जाओ, बोलेगा हाँ भेज देता हूँ, कहाँ भेज, जहाँ जाना है भेज देता हूँ. We don't do that. Like, we only specialize Australia because we are from Australia, we live in Australia, we are Australian Australians. We understand their culture, and I was born, bred in Mumbai. So I understand India. And that is the reason we are able to bridge this gap and explain to people that it is one of the best and the beautiful countries, and you will have a proper life. We've done more than 3,000 plus applications, happy families which are already over there.
3,000 plus.
Yes. So that is why we always encourage people to, it is better to get into something where you know the procedure step by step and surety step by step, rather than getting into something where it is inshallah.
Okay, please share with us some of the interesting experiences or cases that your company has had uh, related to immigration.
Quite a lot to talk about, but let's, one that comes into my mind. I was in Australia, and we were in our office, and through a reference, I had a Pakistani couple come to me, and her story was that she had already got a visa. She was living in Australia for the last 2 years, but her visa got revoked.
Okay.
Okay, so her PR got revoked, and she had a deportation. So she got a deportation letter. That means she had to deport in the next couple of days. So I still remember, I think it was Monday or something was her last day, a Sunday or Monday was her last day. And she came to me and my lawyers at my office. She came on a Wednesday or Thursday she came. And she's like, this is what the situation is, and I don't have many days. So is there something that we could do? And we sat down and we understood her entire application, and the only thing that we could do is basically oppose immigration for their decision. And which we basically, so what we did is we had to call immigration and have our lawyers represent her. So tell immigration that we are basically representing her, which basically, and appeal in court, which is called AAT tribunal, which is a tribunal case. And with that, we got her a bridging visa, which is an extension till the decision comes, till we get the case in court. And yeah, and it was basically for 2 years, and it went on. And after 2 years, we got a date. And I still remember
And
at
she was
that.
still there.
Oh, she was there because because she was going to be deported, like let's say on Monday or Tuesday, but we basically
Filed an
went and
application.
filed an appeal. So when we filed an appeal, we got a bridging visa.
Okay.
So bridging means a bridge between this decision and this decision. So because it's like Australia's democratic country, so it gives you a freedom to even fight. So our lawyers took up the application. Now, when the case, the best part is when the case started, we were in Dubai, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I remember that because it was my birthday. So it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and my lawyers went online, and the client was in Adelaide, and the court hearing was in Sydney. So everyone was online, and the first thing I remember the judge saying is, are you willing to proceed with this? Because winning this case is like only 12% chances from the case history that we have read.
Oh.
So our lawyers actually prepared a rebuttal, and which was like more than 105 pages
Mm.
on every step, every
Mm.
allegation that was given by immigration for deportation.
Mm.
And we went through the entire process, and the hearing went on for like nearly 4 to 5 hours.
Mm.
And it was a Friday, and then they said, okay, you know what, we'll give the decision on Monday, and it was in our favor. And we saved that applicant and their family from getting deported. So their PR was revoked, and we unrevoked their PR and got her PR back.
It, take, it took around 2 years
2 years for the
for the
hearing to
case.
come.
Okay.
And this applicant, basically, the family was working for the government in Australia. Still,
What was the reason?
one was using an unregistered migration agent, which was actually one of the reasons, because when the immigration asked them at a point that why were ABC papers not filed correctly, and she said her agent did it, and they said, okay, if your agent has done it, can we have the agent number if it's an RMA? And she's like, nah, we don't. I know it was just an agent from Pakistan who's done it. And they are like, oh, you've used an unregistered migration agent, which is not correct. So that was one of the reasons. And there were multiple complications in her application. And before she came to us, she had made it even more complicated. So so we had to like literally unscramble that scrambled egg. But anyways, we got through. That was the beauty of it.
Even though you just had a 12%
That's what the
chance of
judge
winning.
said. That yes, 12%, and we won. This is another story that we had. There was a Jordanian lady, and she had basically got her PR visa long time ago, in maybe in the year of 2000. She lived in Australia for some time. Her family, her brother, her parents, her mother, everyone moved to Australia, and then she was out of Australia. So what happens is, when you get a PR visa, you get a 5 year travel limit. After that, you have to apply for RRV, which is called Resident Return Visa, which is another thing which allows you to come back into Australia and basically extends it for another 5 years.
Okay.
So that is basically what is called RRV. So when she basically was outside Australia, she was in Jordan, and she went through an agent who didn't know what an RRV was exactly. So when the RRV was applied, it was applied wrongly, and because it was applied wrongly, the application basically got rejected. So then she basically again tried to apply for another RRV in couple of years. She did not appeal, because it's not easy to appeal. It's quite difficult to appeal, and you need to have a good immigration, strong immigration lawyer to appeal for this. So she didn't, and then I think that was in 2005. She had done it by herself and through an agent, and then she tried a couple of times till she came to us, which was I think in 2018 or 19. And at that point of time, we told her that, look, the way it is, the way your application has already been, smashed and hammered previously by previous agents, to rectify it, we will have to appeal, and to appeal, we will have to basically lodge. So we lodged the way we had to lodge, but because of the history of what was there, she got a rejection. And we knew that when we had told her that this is going to happen, so that we can appeal. And then we appealed, and when we appealed, we rectified all her previous
Previous,
cases that were there, all the unscrambled egg we started scrambling, and unscrambling and bringing it back to normal, and then we finally got her through. So basically, she was an applicant who had a PR, but because she was lodged wrongly for a resident return visa, she could not go to Australia for nearly 12 years, 12 to 13 years. So she was actually locked out of Australia for 12 to 13 years. And we finally got her in.